All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Unprepared. Today, we welcome to the show old podcast guest and now a new video guest, Mike Potter. He is the co-founder of Rewind. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Chase. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I love you're like, he had to pause. We almost started. He's like, I have to tell my family not to come in here because I know they are going to. I feel like everyone has to deal with.
I gave them the iPad as well because I knew they were coming in for that. So that was preparation.
I feel like, yeah, it's the kids need the iPads right now. They are for the children.
Yeah. At least I can get some work done at least for a few minutes.
Yeah. Awesome. So you told them, so we got about 10 minutes here before they're going to forget that they're not allowed in the room. So let's get to it. For those that don't know what Rewind does and how you guys help in the ecosystem, do you want to give a quick background?
Yeah, so Rewind is an app for e-commerce merchants, and it helps them protect their store data. We're available for Shopify and BigCommerce, and we back up your store data in case something happens to it. We can easily recover it before the problem happened. So we're there to help the merchants and allow them allow them the freedom to make changes to their store and not have to worry about whether they make a mistake or not. We're there and we've got their back to help them grow.
Awesome. Yeah, it's Rewind is an amazing app. If you are thinking about on the fence about it, I would recommend it. It's better to be safe than sorry. We've used it before with some crazy migrations, and it's just good to have backups of everything. So pivoting a bit here, obviously we are well into week 6 or 7 now of kind of the pandemic. I like to keep a positive note on these conversations. So now, 6 weeks in, unfortunately, it's the new normal. We're kind of used to what's going on here. What are you seeing in kind of the ecosystem, the e-commerce ecosystem that brands are doing that you think is the right thing? What should people be focusing on right now? Did you have any thoughts that you really wanted to share today?
I think, the main thing that people need to keep in mind is that what you're doing now is going to impact your business, I think, for a long time. Right. And so you want to make sure that you're providing really good customer service. I think there's nothing more frustrating from a consumer standpoint than to be buying something from somebody and then either not having that show up or having it take too long or things like that. So, setting expectations from a merchant's perspective of how long it's going to take to get the merchandise. We've seen that some of our customers have had problems actually sourcing merchandise, whether it's coming from China or from elsewhere where manufacturing has actually stopped or slowed down. So, if that's the case, you don't want to be selling something that consumers aren't able to actually receive in the next little while. I think there's nothing more frustrating from my standpoint than ordering something off the internet and then having it take 6 to 10 weeks to show up at your door.
Yeah.
I think it's really important now because you've got so many people that are shopping at home for the first time. We're definitely seeing an increase in activity in terms of number of people buying online, in terms of number of stores installing software. I know Shopify has shared some stats that, their business is doing fantastically well. Black Friday, Cyber Monday type levels of traffic on a daily basis and continuing to increase. And so if you've got, new visitors that are coming in, it's a real great opportunity to attract new customers. You want to make sure that you're providing them that amazing level of customer experience that hopefully you've been doing before. So, making sure that anything that's out of stock is not being sold, making sure that anything that has a difficulty of being shipped is maybe not being sold. Anything that's going to take longer to ship, you're notifying your customers about that. And I think just over communicating in some cases around what the estimated time for arrival is. These are types of things that at least I've seen personally that have frustrated me and either make me want to return back to a merchant or make me not want to shop there again.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. You got to over communicate during this time, especially people are ordering things online that they probably haven't ordered before or wouldn't necessarily order to begin with. And you have to make that experience worthwhile now to try to save that customer relationship for down the line. You win that trust now, and they're gonna more than likely buy from you again. That's the old adage. It's way easier to upsell people that have already bought from you. And I do want to just double down on what Mike said as far as traffic goes. For the merchants that we work with that can, fulfill right now, a few of them are beating Black Friday every single day right now. It is insane, the sales and the growth that's happening. Some insiders in the business have projected that, long story short, I don't want to really take up too much time with this, but e-commerce hitting 25% market penetration as far as like how much sales happen online. Hitting 25% wasn't supposed to happen for another 8 years, but because of the pandemic, we might hit it this year, which just means that we're posed for like insane growth this year if you can, make it work within your business.
I think, it's like I said, it's a unique opportunity to acquire customers that you wouldn't have otherwise acquired. And it's really it's really building your reputation, right, as a merchant. And so what is your reputation? Is your reputation somebody that provides really good quality merchandise quickly to customers? Or is it somebody that takes orders and, takes a week or 2 weeks in order to fulfill the orders? And I think, if you've got your process down, then you're already set to sort of just accelerate that. But you need to make sure that whatever you're handling online, that your backend systems can handle that as well, and that you're fulfilling those orders quickly.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about messaging on every single episode of this, and if you have not looked at your messaging or changed your messaging, on your website, that's a big mistake. It's going to lead to some frustrated customers, and it's just going to hurt you in the long run. Changing gears a little bit here, I'm just curious, how has this all affected just Rewind? Are you guys seeing an uptick in new merchants coming on the platform? Are people kind of getting in for the first time and needing to use backups?
Yeah, I think so. We're definitely seeing more interest. I think there's more businesses that are moving online, and so they're more interested in making sure that data is protected as their e-commerce revenue becomes more important to their overall business. Again, you want to double down on security and make sure that you're protecting that main source of revenue. As more people are working on the stores, right, more chances of problems. So that's one of the key areas that our customers see is the more people you get on the stores, the more likely it is that they're going to make mistakes. So as volume increases, as you need to hire more staff, as you're inviting more people to be managing customers' orders and products, et cetera, in your online store, you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself against that. Generally, now everybody's working from home, so offices are closed. Again, extra security as people are working from home. You want to make sure that your data is protected in case something happens, from the home network into hitting Shopify's servers. So generally, we're seeing really good business results. We're on track for one of our best months we've ever had this month. We're seeing at the lower end where there were customers that might not have been making a lot of sales. We're definitely seeing those people drop off. People that were trying to start a store now need to focus and maybe save some money for other more important things. But the stores that were successful before, that were selling hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of orders on a monthly basis, we're seeing them grow in popularity. We're seeing them grow their sales numbers, and they're all doing really, really well. So from our standpoint, business for us is doing extremely well these days.
Awesome. Congrats on that. Now, if anyone watching this is curious about you guys or wants to get a hold of you or learn more about the product, where should they go?
You should go to rewind.io.
Perfect. Mike, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me, Chase.
Yep. Thank you.